So I was informed by the National Weeb Administration that trope talk is already a thing. Thank you very much. I will change that in the next episode. I don't know what it's going to be. Cliche call-outs, who knows. While you were studying the blade, I was watching a lot of movies and cartoons, not into anime just yet. I was 6 or 7 years old and I had the Shrek DVD when I had this life-changing epiphany. Some of you can already relate. Bonus features, behind the scenes. Hey, wait a minute. That's the guy from Dr. Dolittle. And that's Austin Powers. And you're Charlie's Angel. And I don't know who you are. And all that stuff sort of sat in the back of my head accumulating for years because we didn't have the internet back then. And once we did have the internet, it was no good until eventually it was just strong enough to load up Wikipedia. Fortnite, back in my day, we played the hyperlink game. That's when you look up something on Wikipedia, you're done reading the article, and you click another blue link. That was at 14, so I've got an 8-year memory bank full of actors and movies and cartoons. Blew away my pre-adolescent mind, all these same people doing different voices. I wanted to know, how do they make these voices for all these different characters? As a documentary called I Know That Voice. In there, many well-known voice actors talk about their methods. And I looked at people like Robin Williams doing so many accents in so many different movies, and I studied accents and language and sounds. I've even gotten a chance to do voice work over the years. The only thing you'd care for is a small game called Vaporum. What makes a voice for a character? What makes a character for a voice? Oddly enough, they make each other. So dubbed or subbed, I do have preferences. Preference number 1, if I understand the source language, I will want to watch it in that. Normally I don't, so subbed it is. Preference number 2, if nationalities come into play, I'm curious. In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, you're dealing with 2, 3 forms of English and Italian as well. They're in England during the 1880s. That's the Victorian era. They're in London and Liverpool, no less. And on top of that, Jonathan is high class, Dio is low class, and Speedwagon is no class. So the accents in Part 1 were, aside from Zappelli, spot on actually. I think the problem is they focused too much on the accent and lost a bit of meaning into the lines. How are you supposed to compete against a Japanese voice actor when they have the original lines? They don't have to worry about meaning lost in translation. Black Butler is my go-to when they say you cannot have a better dub than the sub. That's like your opinion, man.
Innocent of this world's filth. That tail, childish yet somehow noble. Those paws, pale, pink, and perfect.
The accents are done very well, and I can pick up on them in a language I actually speak. And the third one, some voices just fit characters. You know the character, you know their story, you know their flow, you know their background, you know all these different kinds of things about them, and it's just that voice is the cherry on top. It ties it all together. And in the end, sometimes it's some monkey brain preference. I much prefer Cowboy Bebop in English because Steve Blum just has that texture.
Bang.